So, John, listen, you heard what I said, my conversation with the sheriff there. Authorities have gotten one man so far. I asked the sheriff, if they think he'll get him tonight, how long do you think it'll take him to get that second man?
Well, I hope it's very soon, Don. You and I talked at the beginning of this hunt, and we talked about, I believe that he was still in the area, that he would go into a summer home or a hunting camp, which he did, and that they didn't have the resources that people thought they would have. They weren't ganged up. They weren't involved with a cartel. They didn't have help from the outside. So you and I talked about them being close. And I believe that David Sweat is close. It was a glorious day today that Matt was taken down. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't rape anybody. Because when they get to the end of the run, they get very, very dangerous. And that's what I would say David Sweat is right now. So I caution people that are still in the area, if you have security alarms, put them on. If you don't, go stay at somebody's house, because I'm sure David Sweat is incredibly desperate right now. And they'll be out all night. And I haven't heard anybody mention the fact that most police helicopters have FLIR, Don, and that is electromagnetic radiation, where they can pick up a 2-degree temperature of a living thing underneath a car, inside of a house. Police use it all the time. I've ridden with law enforcement for years when they've caught fugitives that have been running through the ghetto, hiding under cars, people that have robbed banks and got under houses. So I hope that David Sweat goes down tonight, but people have got to realize this guy is extremely dangerous. He is probably armed. They probably got guns in those hunting camps. And the public is the key to this. You and I talked about it. If you see anything tonight, pick up that phone, be aware, make the call.
So you said he's desperate, and that he's even more dangerous now that he's desperate. But what happens when you mentioned the infrared and the device that can pick up temperature? So what happens now? Does that mean that they take everyone out of the woods who may be looking for him? What are they doing? The people who are searching for him. What happens tonight?
No, they know what they're looking for. They'll go in segments. They'll fly those helicopters back and forth over areas with that FLIR device to look for some type of thermal imaging, some electromagnetic radiation. Now, when they were hunting for Eric Rudolph in the hills of North Carolina, and he stayed there for years, they picked up bears, they picked up raccoons and wolves and different things, coyotes that were in those woods, not wolves, but coyotes. And they had to eliminate them. But David Sweat might be in a camp right now as we're speaking and watching television. And I hope he knows one thing. The cops that are looking for him know that he ruthlessly, brutally shot a fellow law enforcement officer 22 times. They know that wasn't enough, that they backed up, that he had to run over this guy with this victim cop with a car. So they're going to be looking for any excuse to light up David Sweat, to shoot at David Sweat. If he's watching this, he ought to take his shirt off, take every strip down to his underwear, and come out with his hands up, because it's going to be a very ugly takedown when they finally catch this guy. But I think they're going to get him tonight. I think that they're going to figure out where he is, look for him all night. Time is on the side of law enforcement. He's got nowhere to go. He's got to be really desperate. He's got to be scared as hell. He's got to be dehydrated and hungry. And if he doesn't give up, because I believe he's a coward, he probably will give up. Matt was a sociopath. He was never going to give up. He was going to shoot it out or do death by cop. But David Sweat might give himself up. I don't think he'll shoot it out with the cops. He's not going to have a chance. But I think tonight's the night for this guy. I'm praying that he doesn't hurt anybody, that he doesn't decide to carjack somebody, he doesn't decide to use someone as a hostage. I say to everybody that's watching this show, Don, anybody in the area, please be on red alert tonight, because this guy is dangerous.